Prepare ye this among the nations, prepare war. Giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem Rakakwadash. And this is Joel, the 3rd chapter, the 9th verse. What I will do is read from a previous video that I did a couple of days ago. I covered really from the first verse, us going into slavery, and then Esau, the Grecians, going into slavery under us. And before that happens, this great war has to happen, the War of Armageddon, World War III. I was watching a video that the elder head of GMS Dallas put up, and it had something to do with strange things happening. I'm not going to pull up the video, but I believe he got that video from Jason A. And if you watch Jason A videos, you know, it's a lot of different scenes from different news channels, and it all had everything to do with these nations possessing, you know, missiles. And that's the Great Equalizer. And all these major nations that possess this firepower, they're all going to have a part in that war. In that video also, you had scenes of Kamala Harris, which is the vice president of the U.S. She went down to Vietnam and a couple other places in that region for the sole purpose of coming against China, because I believe things, well, I know things are not working out with China and the U.S., so they're using these other nations in the East basically for items coming over here from east to the west, which is California, that area, the West Coast. You know, if you're in New York, if you're in Chicago, if you're in Texas, you know, if you're in Florida, when you go to BJ's and Costco's and Walmart and these different, when you order stuff from Amazon, all these items that you get, these household items, they come from the Middle East. I mean, from the East, not the Middle East, the East, the uttermost East. So things are happening with China. You know, China understands the world system. They know the Chinese. They watch us. They watch the videos. They know that we're the Israelites, and they understand the money system, and they understand that the so-called U.S. dollar, or the FRN, Federal Reserve Note, is weak and is getting weaker every day, because they understand how inflation works. They understand how producing dollars out of thin air weakens that monetary system. So either you got to pay a higher price in items, and if not, you don't get those items. Anyway, let me get back into this. Joel 3 verse 9. Let me see where this goes in the spirit. I was just watching, right before I saw the elder Yashwamba. I was watching a little of a live stream that Apostle Gabar and Apostle Ramla put together, and in the title you had the word beast. Now I did a video with the title, the word beast in the title that I did, and while I was doing it, you know, there was a notification popped up, and it just said the beast It was put up by Apostle Limelop. So, we're in that. We're even looking past the whole mark thing, because the mark thing is pretty much here. You have people saying that it's the jab. I don't believe it's the jab. It can work with the jab, but I wouldn't take the jab anyway. Because if you do take the jab, you're going to, I would say, definitely take that charagma, because you don't understand what that jab leads to. It leads to the charagma. So the charagma, if you ask me for a timetable, as a brother a couple of weeks ago, this is about 3 weeks ago, asked me out at the camp, one of the brothers on this, I forget the brother's name, I heard his name, but I forget, big brother. He had said, what about the timetable of the destruction? And that was easy to answer. I basically said once the charagma is made manifest and ministered to the people, everything's going to move fast. When that happens, then the destruction should pretty much come inside of months. Just my assessment, because the Most High is not going to have people walking around with a charagma in them for the next 10 years. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, tells you about that. If it tarry, wait for it shall not tarry, it shall surely come. The scriptures say no one of these shall fail. Isaiah, the 34th chapter. None shall want her mate. It's talking about the scriptures. And this book that we read out of is a spiritual book. That's why certain Jace can't get it. And none of these books that these black consciousness people deal with, none of them have prophecies in it. None of them have prophecies in it. And most of the stuff that they read out of is written by so-called Jews. Remember, it was guys like Champi Leon, it's hard to say his name, that you can look him up. He was one of the first, he's from France. He was one of the first, among others, that broke the code dealing with Egypt, the Rosetta Stone. So everything that these so-called black consciousness people wouldn't have this truth had it not been for the white man. So you should tell the white man to shut his pants down so you can kiss him in the ass for confusing you. Anyway, let's go ahead and read this. I'm rambling. Joel 3 verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. The Gentiles, in this case, vocab alone, are talking about the other nations. Prepare war. What war? The war of Armageddon. As a matter of fact, let me read that. And now the more these devils drag their feet with the jab and ultimately the charagma, the more people are not going to take it. And my woman had to take a test, COVID test. Like if you go to the city at these, what do you call them, MD, them little, they're like miniature hospitals, and people are in there taking the COVID test for jobs or whatever. So she had to go visit her mother, and they said, well, you can't visit her unless you take a test. So she took the test, and I said, what, did they put something up in your nose a year? I said, did it hurt? She said, no, it was a cotton swab put in my nose, and that's it. And then they said they gave her result in 15 minutes, and it was she was good. She didn't have it, and she's, she gets diabetes and all these comorbidities, but she ain't got it. So I said, and she said, this is all bullshit. So when she went to see her mother, she had the paperwork with her ready to show it, and they just said, just go ahead, because it's all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. Oh, you have. I just heard this about an hour ago. I forget where I heard it. Anyway, you have the military that they're coming against the U.S. government for the jab. They're going to court now because the majority of these people in the military, they don't want the jab for whatever reason. What else I'm finding out too is most doctors and nurses are not going to take it. So they know something that you don't know. You can listen to bucket head niggas like Roland Martin, which he's an insider, and go ahead and take it. And I guarantee you're going to take that. And they don't. And see, that shows you that they don't know that the Karagma is right down the road. You got a lot of Edomites that know that the Karagma, they know what the Karagma is all about. So you got a lot of Edomites that's not going to take it. Here you got Jake that's going to take it because Jake doesn't study. Jake is just fucking gone. As Elder Abba would say, just forget him. Just forget him. And that's what we're going to do. So now where did I say I was going to go? Oh, I said I was going to go to Revelation. Uh, 16. Okay, it says Revelation 16 verse 13. It said the headline says Armageddon. It said, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. The dragon represents the current beast system, but it also represents the Roman system, which the first dragon is the image of the beast, the system of the beast. And out of the mouth of the beast is your current NATO and EU, which includes America and Canada, which are all Edomite or so-called European nations. And out of the mouth of the false prophet represents the from the Catholic setup to the Reformation of the Calvinists, the Protestants, and the Baptists, the Methodists, which they all came out of the false prophet, which is the Roman Catholic Church. That's why when you go into any of these established Christian churches, they all have the same image. That image is Caesar Borgia. They don't even know that. For they are the spirits of devils, because they're all devils. That's why we call you the devil, working miracles. Now, why would you believe the devil if the devil said we're going to help you? There's a disease out there. We're going to give you the jab. That's the devil talking. Why would you believe him and go ahead and do it? I'm not going to mention any names, but there's one camp that's pushing it heavy, which go forth unto the kings of the earth, the other nations, and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty. And this is what it's coming to. This will not happen until the Karagma is made, is set up for you to take. Now it says in Psalm 64, it said they shall flee. It said their tongue shall fall upon themselves, and the people that hear it, they shall flee. So people are equating the jab, the Karagma, with the MOTB. Like I said early in the video, even Edomites in the Bible Belt Edomites. The reason why it's called the Bible Belt Edomites, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this right. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Google. And I put in Bible Belt. Bible Belt. Okay, let's read this. The Bible Belt is a region of southern United States in which socially conservative Christianity plays a strong role in society and politics. So these people in the so-called Bible Belt, they're all so-called traditional Christians, and church attendance across the denominations is generally higher than the nation's average. So in other words, these Edomites, and you can read more into it. In other words, these Edomites are heavy into the Bible, and they don't always dance and sing. They get down and they read the scriptures, unlike you Negroes. So now let's come back over here. I'm sorry, where was I? Okay, it speaks about the unclean spirits that flows coming out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast and the dragon is also interchangeable with the image. The image is not a picture of Caesar Borgia, Bishop Nate. The image or the dragon is the Roman system. That's why you have a Senate and you have the Caesar, which is also known as the first. The word emperor, which is the Caesar, the word emperor just means commander. Any president of the U.S. is also known as a commander or commander-in-chief. Commander, in the Latin, is emperor. And empire means to command. If you don't do what we tell you to do, we're going to destroy you. That's what the Romans did. 14 verse, Revelation 16 verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Right. Their medical system is based upon miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth, or the whole earth, and of the whole world. Now that word world, let me click on that. I guarantee you that word world is oikomene. Yep, oikomene. So this Crown Vic thing is not limited to the U.S. It's a world thing, which came. I'm not even gonna go all into it. We already know about it. But let's get back to this right here. Okay, 15 verse. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches, which the ones of you Jakes out there that you were part of One West at one time and you fell off, and you watch us, all the cats that we knew back in the day, 20 plus 25 years ago, 30 years ago, they're back in the world. Some of them went back into Christianity, some of them are Hotep niggas, some of them are Moors, and some of them just regular Jake. And they watch our videos, and believe it or not, a lot of them, I believe, are major scoffers. Well, guess what? All of y'all, you're gonna take that jab, then you're gonna take the karagma, then you're gonna eat a missile. You're gonna be backstroking in fire, nuclear fire. It says 15 verse again, Revelation 16 verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is, and he's not going to come as a thief to us because we're watching. A thief can't rob you if you have a guard set up. You have 5 people in your house and people take guard at the door. Ain't no thief going to come because they know that somebody's up. A thief comes when you're out of the house and when you're in a deep sleep. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches. And we're watching. What are we watching? The prophecies. And keepeth his garments. The garments represent what? The garments represent this truth that we have. If you go to Matthew, the 22nd chapter, there was a wedding and they were invited to the wedding, which means the kingdom. And there was one at the wedding with no garments, and one said to him, "Sir, where are your garments?" And what they did was they cast him out. So the garments represent this information that we have. It said, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. See, these guys that have fallen off, and women that have fallen off and watching us, they're gonna show themselves. And if they do show themselves, they're gonna be ashamed, because they're gonna be found naked. Because we're gonna say, well, what work have you done? It says, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, which is Hamagadwan, which means mountain of troops. Now you can read the rest of it. As a matter of fact, I'll jump down to the 19th verse. And the great city, which is Babylon, which is America, was divided into 3 parts. And the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High. And Babylon is America. Babylon is America. Babylon is America. This is the place that's going to be destroyed. You even have you have Edomites. Well, I'll say so-called Edomites, because you have people that look like Edomites that are Jake, and we're thinking that the Edomites that are heavily into the Bible, that also believe and teach that Babylon the Great is America, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath, the Most High's wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found, or the kingdoms, because they're going to be knocked down. There's only going to be one kingdom. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven. That great hail is talking about the actual missiles. Every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, because of the missiles. For the plague thereof was exceeding great. So these missiles are a plague. It's going to plague this place. So we're back here in Joel 3. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. At one time, well, it was Great Britain. Now it's America. They would go to other countries, and they would, bark orders. Why? Because they were empire. You have the British Empire, and they don't like to use the word the American Empire, but America is the new empire. It says, assemble yourself and come, all ye heathen, all ye nations, and gather yourself together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So that's Joel asking the Lord to bring down the angels. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now Jehoshaphat is Yahweh Shaphat. Yahweh is the name of the Most High, and Shaphat means judgment. It said, for there will I set to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The press is full, meaning the wine press. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. 14 verse, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Now, on a spiritual level, that's talking about Esau will not have any intelligence to get out of this thing. And it's also talking about when the missiles cover the skies, everything's gonna go. It'll be the middle of the daytime, and everything's gonna go black because the missiles are gonna cover the sun, the stars, and you're gonna see blackness and then fire and death. 16 verse, Joel 3 verse 16. The Lord Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion, and these missiles are gonna roar, and out of his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. That's in Isaiah 24. The earth shall reel back and forth like a drunkard. But the Lord Yahweh will be the hope of his people. Who are the Lord's people? Israel. Not the believers, the gathering of the believers. No. It says, I'm sorry. It says, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people, which are the Israelites, national Israelites, the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the strength of the children of Israel. Then it goes on and tell you who the Lord's people are, the children of Israel, national Israel. It goes on to say, so shall ye know that I am the Lord your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and that's the kingdom. And there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. You're not going to come to those through those gates. You're not going to come into the inner sanctum of the temple. You're going to come to a certain point, and that's it. And then you're going to be taught the laws. And you're going to call on the Most. You're going to praise Esau. All you nations, you're going to praise the Most. I ain't going to be praising no Allah. Let me jump down to the 19th verse. Egypt shall be a desolation. Now, Egypt is talking about spiritual Egypt, which is Babylon the Great. And Edom. See, it mentions Egypt and then Edom shall be a desolation. Which are you so-called white people? For the violence against the children of Judah. Now, why didn't it mention Israel? Because Israel was under the rulership of the Assyrians. So the only part of the kingdom that was left was the kingdom of Judah, which consisted of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So you can read about that in the book of Obadiah. Because they have shed innocent blood in their land, but Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. Because our kingdom is not going to go down. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. Anyway, with that,